You're going to hear about a teacher of mine that I had in junior high school. He and I had an art battle, my friends. Why, hello my dears, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with Senpai. This story time is going to be special for a lot of reasons, not just because I actually have the illustrations from this story time, but I feel like this story is especially important for you guys to hear because every artist at some point in their life is going to meet somebody that's going to try to bash them as an artist, bash their style, bash everything about them and what they believe in. And I'm going to tell you guys the attitude you're supposed to have is go fuck yourself. This is my life. I got this. I'm not saying being pompous, but be confident in yourself. You're going to hear about a teacher of mine that I had in junior high school that took things a bit too far and actually how can I say it? He and I had an art battle, my friends, because he wanted to prove a point to me. So he drew something, I drew something, and let's just say, so it's gonna be a good story time, guys. And in case you've missed my other story times, here they are. Good times, good times. No, 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 no. And today, my YouTube babies, I am not drinking cranberry juice like usual. Today, I'm actually drinking sparkling apple grape. It says 100% juice, contains no alcohol. It's safe for the kids. Yeah. Because on this channel, we don't drink alcohol. It's like grape soda, but more refined. So let's get on to the story. So this story takes place when I was 11 years old and I was in the 6th grade. I had just gotten into junior high school, and let me tell you, junior high school was awful. It was terrible. It was honestly the worst time of my life. It was bad, but you never expect to be bullied by a teacher though. And that's what this story is going to be about today. It was about my art teacher, Mr. Johnson. I had this art class. I'm in this class with some kids that are really nice to me, but mostly my bullies. But my bullies had a love-hate relationship with me, okay? Because even though they hated my guts and they wanted me dead, apparently, they all loved my artwork and loved for me to sing for them. They would always ask me, Elizabeth, can you sing for us? Oh, sing for us. Or, Elizabeth, can you teach us how to draw? Oh, we love your drawing. Can you draw this for me? But they all really enjoyed my artwork, and so they used to brag on my behalf to our art teacher. And now our art teacher was a big Marvel Comics dude and was really, really big on Disney. Like, there was no such thing better than Disney to him. For some freaking reason, like, he thought Disney was the epitome of all animations. He was like, oh, Pokemon is just a fad. It's going to go out of style. All these kids drawing the Pokemans, like, that's not going to be around for long. Meanwhile, here we are in 2017, and Pokemon is still really huge. Remember last summer? Pokemon Go? Just saying, Mr. Johnson. Because his thing was that anime was going to go out of style and that no one was going to draw it anymore, and we were going to be left with this whole generation of kids who only knew how to draw anime and manga style and didn't know how to draw anything else. That was his thing. And I get it. He went about it kind of bad. And he was saying, if you want to copy anything, copy Marvel Comics, because that's the only style that'll exist forever. And so, me being 11 years old, my obsession was Dragon Ball Z. As you can see, I was a really big fan of Dragon Ball Z, and I drew this from memory. I had my own way of drawing, but I also memorized more or less how to draw Dragon Ball Z characters. Here's Trunks, again from Dragon Ball GT, actually, that was from GT. You know, and then I made my own fan characters, you know, for Dragon Ball Z. So that was pretty much how I drew all the time for fun. You know, I really admired Akira Toriyama, and, you know, being 11 years old, you copy those that you really, really look up to. I wasn't at that age where I was ready to make my own style, you know what I mean? So anywho, he saw my drawings and he was just like, oh, whatever, da-da-da, Disney. Disney is supreme, Disney is bae, and he was all about that Disney life. Here's some Vegeta, just wanted to throw that in there. But the drawing that pushed him over the edge when it came to my artwork was a drawing we did for a project about futuristic transportation. And so I came up with these illustrations of these 3 girls. I kind of thought of them as like, I don't know, people from different planets on like hovercrafts, you know what I mean? And it's pretty good for an 11-year-old. I was 10 going on 11, and I drew this from complete memory. And when he was going through all of our like drawings, he stopped at mine and went, ah, so you like to copy stuff.
What are you talking about?
Well, what you drew, you obviously copied it from something. So what reference did you use? And I swear, this was his actual expression. Like, so fucking cocky for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck? I was 11 and I'm telling him,
I didn't use reference. I drew this from memory. These are my own characters.
Okay. If you can draw this again, then maybe I'll believe you. I was 11 years old! Anyway, so I went home, told my mom about it, and I just sat down. I redrew the whole thing without looking at the original drawing. Brought it back to school, thinking that he would acknowledge that I made up the character, that I made it all up, didn't use reference, and then he saw my redone version of it, and his reaction was, oh, I get it. You just draw the same thing over and over again, so you just memorize it. I understand now. What the fuck? Anyway, that really ticked me off. And even though the kids in my class hated me and bullied me, a bunch of them seemed kind of annoyed that he didn't acknowledge that I knew how to draw and that I drew from memory. So a few of them, to my surprise, were like, no, but she draws from memory. No, but she's real good. Da da da. And one thing led to another, and he brought up Winnie the Pooh for some reason, and I was like, but I can draw Winnie the Pooh. I can draw Disney characters. They're just boring to me. They're easy to me. Drawing something like Super Saiyan Goku is more fun to draw because he's harder. And then he made the biggest mistake, in my opinion, of his whole life. Dude said, okay, so you draw Winnie the Pooh and I'll draw this Goku character you said. And I was like, challenge accepted, bitch. Yes, girl, yes. Anyway, now he was in my turf, drawing Super Saiyan Goku. In my mind, I was kind of laughing. I was like, he's got to be out of his fucking mind. He actually took some paper, pinned it to the, like, you know, the bulletin board in our classroom, and the whole class was like, oh, the teacher versus Lisbeth. Oh, everybody was so hyped about it. And there he was, trying to draw Goku, and here I am, flawlessly drawing Winnie the Pooh. And I finished Winnie the Pooh in like 3 minutes. And the class was hysterical laughing, because there he was, Mr. Johnson, trying to draw Goku. From reference, from one of my collector's Dragon Ball Z cards. And dude, the struggle was real. When I say the man was struggling on that boot, the man was struggling on that boot. Goku's foot is just a little pointy tippy tip triangle thing. He would draw a couple of folds and then fuck up, and the kids would start laughing, and he would take the paper off the bulletin board, crumble it and throw it, and then put a new one up, and once again fail on the leg and the boot. And he tried to sketch in the rest, and it was trash. It was straight up trash. It was so, oh my god. And I just sat there smiling, and they were like, oh my god, he can't draw what Elizabeth can draw, and here's the teacher. And after like 5 attempts, he gave up, and the class was hysterical laughing, saying that I won the competition. And he was like, okay guys, okay, enough everybody, okay, enough, because the kids were hysterical laughing. He never bothered me ever again. And on top of all that, he actually retired 6 months later. And it was kind of a rumor across my school that I was the reason why he retired. I don't know how true that is, and I'll never know how true that is. But I always found it to be really funny that a grown man thought that he could bully an 11-year-old kid and lost. Honestly, when you deal with bullies, you're dealing with people with low self-esteem. And they're trying to get your self-esteem as low as theirs. And that is what I've learned with every asshole and douche I've ever met in my life. Not just in junior high school, but in every phase of my life. Even as a published author, y'all. And this teacher, I don't know what his issue was, but he lost to an 11-year-old. And the thing was, yeah, I drew Dragon Ball Z characters and Dragon Ball Z styles and all that stuff, but I also drew realism. I drew portraits. I drew everything. I wasn't limited to just cartoons. I just favored cartoons. And that's what I want you guys to get out of this. Be confident in yourself. Don't give any fucks. If people are giving you advice, take the advice. You know what I mean? Learn from it, but don't bash yourself. Don't put yourself down. You're an artist. You're learning. You're going to keep getting better with time. But don't ever let anybody put you down. Don't ever let anybody say that you're not good enough and that you're not a cherished existence in this world. And don't let anybody bash what you love to do. Because them. This is your life. You do you, boo-boo. And everything else will fall into place. And as a side note, don't ever draw these stupid wooden mannequins. They teach you absolutely nothing. I mentioned them before. They're terrible. Don't draw them. Ever. They're just... What the hell is this? What did I learn from that? Anyway, that was my story time today. Volume 4 of my series will be released soon. And if you're curious, you could read the first 2 chapters here on YouTube and on my site. So guys, until next time, please take care, God bless, and do not be afraid to nerd out. Take care, guys, and stay strong. Gonna drink some more of my juice. This is really good, actually.